And welcome back. And here's your latest Austin, Texas housing market update. This is based on a new report from the Austin Board of Realtors, which was just announced today. And they're reporting huge decreases in home prices and giant increases of housing inventory in Austin, Texas. Again, this is from the Austin Board of Realtors for their Central Texas Housing Market Report for January. Take a look at this. It says in January, median home sold prices dropped 6.3% to $450,000. That's a drop in home prices down by 6.3% from January 2022 through January 2023, which, by the way, this is the largest price reduction or largest price drop since July of 2011. And stay tuned toward the end of this video here because I'm going to be sharing some trends over the past several years regarding home prices in Austin, Texas, and also how it compares to the peak we saw last year as well. So the Austin Board of Realtors also said, despite the price decrease, again, down by 6.3%, monthly housing inventory stayed flat at 2.7 months of inventory, demonstrating that this market is still in need of more housing, as the industry standard is that 6 months of available inventory is considered a balanced market between buyers and sellers. So my question is, if a 6-month housing supply is a balanced real estate market, that of course would imply that over 6 months would be a buyer's market. And also that would also imply that 2.7 months of housing inventory would equate to a strong seller's market. 2.7 months of a balanced real estate market, 6 months, 2.7 months will be a strong seller's market. Now, if that's true, my question is, why did home prices decrease by 6.3% over the past 12 months, the biggest drop since July of 2011, or more than 10 years? The reality is that we don't need a low amount of supply in order to see a correction in our housing market. At 2.7 months supply, home prices decreased by about 6% still. In my personal opinion, we need to get away from this narrative of saying how we need a 6-month housing supply in order to have a balanced real estate market. Clearly, based on the data we have right here, home prices decreasing by over 6%, despite the fact that the supply is only at 2.7 months. But what do you guys think about this? Please leave me a comment below. In any case, moving on. Here's something I actually do agree with them though, and here's what Ashley Jackson, who is their president, had to say. As we compare the market today to what was an abnormal market in the previous 3 years, looking at the year-over-year numbers needs to add an additional context comparing trends on a month-to-month basis. Without this context of comparing trends on a month-to-month basis, the year-over-year data may not be as informative as the market continues to adjust. I 100% agree with her regarding this because we're talking about year-over-year numbers. It really doesn't tell us the full story regarding current trends we're seeing right now, especially regarding home prices, right? Because home prices have been decreasing greatly in the second half of 2022, whereas in the first half of 2022, home prices were increasing big time. So having said that, what I would love to see is public information that we can see from their board of realtors regarding month-to-month changes in their housing market stats. Because their report here, or their summary of the report here, only goes over year-over-year numbers here. So we're talking about home prices, closed home sales, pending home sales, and new listings, all based on a year-over-year basis here. And it says here, visit abor.com/market statistics for additional housing market data. If you actually go to that website though, it takes you right here. And it says the Austin Board of Realtors members get additional access to 100 plus pages of in-depth hyper-local market reports each month. To access the monthly local market reports here, please log into this library here. But keywords here, ABOR members or Austin Board of Realtors members. So you only can get access to additional data if you're a member of the Board of Realtors there. So again, I would love to see public data, just like myself, looking at data in Austin, Texas on a month-to-month basis. But I do agree with her regarding this because when looking at year-over-year numbers, it really doesn't tell us the full story. They do, however, touch very lightly regarding some trends we're seeing on a month-to-month basis here. It says homes spent on average 76 days on the market, up from 47 days from 1 year ago, but only up 3 days from December 2022. So days on the market only increased by 3 days compared to the previous month. Additionally, new listings increased 63.4% to 2,988 on a month-to-month basis. So from December through January, they saw a 63.4% increase of new listings. And they say here, this demonstrates that sellers see opportunity in this market. I would say that this could be due to a variety of different factors regarding this increase of new listings up by 63.4% on a month-to-month basis. Number one would be seasonality of our housing market. It's entirely normal to see an increase of new listings after the winter months, after December. A lot of people don't want to list their houses during Christmas, for example, and so therefore they decide to list their houses after the new year. So in January, entirely normal to see an increase of new listings. So in my personal opinion, this is one of the big factors regarding this huge increase of new listings due to our seasonality of our housing market nationwide and of course in Austin, Texas as well. Also, we could be seeing some home sellers who are seeing that home prices are falling, the housing market is softening, and they want to move. They want to sell their houses in their mind because they might think that home prices may decrease further. And of course, it could be a variety of different factors why people want to move and sell their houses due to job relocations, want to move out of the area, etc., etc. Also, according to the Board of Realtors here, it says at the same time, buyers were also more active in January 2023 compared to December, as pending listings, in other words, contracts being signed between buyers and sellers, pending listings increased 32.4% on a month-to-month basis. Again, I would imagine this is due to our seasonality of our housing market, where more buyers enter the marketplace after December. However, though, there could be another factor here involved as well, and that's because some home buyers may be seeing more houses for sale, more opportunity to get a deal, and also because rates decrease from the highs we saw in late October, and of course, home prices decrease as well. And one more thing I do want to mention is that we need more data, especially during the spring home buying season, to really see where our housing market's headed here. Speaking of that, here's a look at housing market data for January in the Austin Round Rock MSA, or the metro area. So again, $450,000. That's a decrease of 6.3% compared to 12 months ago. Closed home sales, again, a lagging indicator, just like the median sold price. A lagging indicator, closed home sales down by 27% compared to 12 months ago. And again, these are all based compared to 1 year ago. Look at this, average days in the market is at 76 days. It's taking approximately 76 days to sell a house in the Austin Round Rock area this January. And that's an increase of 47 days compared to 12 months ago. Therefore, 12 months ago, days in the market was only 29 days. Meanwhile, new listings compared to 1 year ago increased by 16%. Remember, new listings increased by 63.4% in January compared to December. So that giant increase of new listings by 63% appears to be due to our seasonality of our housing market, as new listings only increased by 16% compared to 12 months ago. Also, have a look at this. Active listings or housing inventory increased a whopping 462% compared to January of 2022. Absolutely mind-blowing. Giant increase of active listings, 462%. Despite the fact that we have 462% more houses for sale, contracts being signed decreased by 16%. Additionally, the months of inventory is sitting at 2.7 months. That's an increase of 2.3 months over the past 12 months, which is absolutely insane. Huge increase over the last 12 months. Having said that, though, this means that the month supply was only 0.4 months 1 year ago, which is absolutely insane. Very, very low numbers here. So it makes sense that we're seeing a big increase compared to 12 months ago. So that's for the greater Austin area. Let's have a look at the city of Austin, because the median sold price in the city of Austin was $525,000, a decrease of 4% from 1 year ago. Closed home sales decreased by 37%. Average days on the market is at 62 days. That's an increase of 31 days from 1 year ago as well. So days on the market has more or less doubled over the past year. We're also seeing an increase of new listings up by 13%, and active listings increased by 387% compared to January 2022. Despite this, though, even though we have approximately 387% more houses for sale, contracts being signed between buyers and sellers still decreased by 26%. Additionally, the month supply in the city of Austin is sitting at 2.2 months. That's an increase of 1.9 months from 12 months ago. This means the months of inventory, the month supply, was only 0.3 months 1 year ago. And that's an absolutely insane low amount of housing supply that we saw in Austin approximately 12 months ago. I also want to share with you guys the percentage of price reductions in the city of Austin, Texas as well, according to altosresearch.com. So the share of price drops right now, at least for the week ended February 10th, is at 49%. This is actually the lowest levels since approximately July 15th last year. The peak was more or less at approximately 63% that was set in late November last year. So the share of price reductions has been decreasing from around 64% now to approximately 49%. Now, having said that, at 49%, this is still much higher compared to previous years. 12 months ago, the share was only 21%. 2 years ago, it was only 9.7%. 3 years ago, back in 2020, the share of price reductions in Austin, Texas was 27%. Back in mid-February 2019, the share of price reductions was approximately 35%. In other words, the share of price reductions right now at 49% is at least a 4-year high during that same time frame. All right, changing gears slightly here, I actually want to provide some more recent data according to redfin.com for Austin, Texas regarding home prices. And of course, I mean the median sold price in Austin, Texas. So for right now, at least for the 4 weeks ended February 5th, the median sold price was $451,000, a decrease of 7% during the same time frame in 2022. So $451,000. Look at the peak though. The peak in 2022 was more or less May last year, when the median sold price was $574,000. And at that time, that was a 24% increase in home prices compared to 1 year ago. This means the median sold price in Austin, Texas has decreased a whopping 21% from the highs we saw back in May. Now, comparatively speaking here, on a national level, we're seeing it decreases in the range of 10 to 11% and not 21%. Now, here's something that's very important if you guys are looking to buy a house or sell a home in Austin, Texas, because when looking at home prices today, at least for the 4 weeks ended February 5th, compared to 2 years ago, back in 2021, the median sold price is still up by 21%. Back in 2021, at this time, home prices were at $374,000, an increase of 21% by my dumb math. Also compared to 3 years ago, back in 2020, when comparing prices right now compared to 2020 or the past 3 years, home prices are still up by 45%. So that includes this this decrease in home prices down by 21%. Obviously, it's a good sign if you guys are looking to buy a house to see home prices decrease by 21% since May last year. But accounting for this, when looking at home prices compared to 2021 and 2020, they're still up big time. Here's something else you guys should be aware of as well if you guys are looking to buy or sell a home in Austin, Texas. Look at this. Here's the average sale price to final list price ratio. And I'll explain here what that means here. So for the 4 weeks ended February 5th, on average, that ratio is 96%, meaning home sellers sold their houses for 4% below their final asking price, 4% below asking. Back in 2020, this time, houses on average were selling for about 2% under asking. And in 2021, at this time, houses on average were selling for about 2% over. Same in 2022. So in 2021, which is in orange, black lines 2022, houses on average were selling for about 2% over asking. Now they're selling for approximately 4% below. So in other words, houses on average selling below the seller's asking price. Much different compared to the craziness back in the spring and summer months of 2021 and 2022. Look at this. Back in April 2021, houses on average were selling 10% over asking, and in 2022, selling on average 6% over asking. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate you. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.